quick glimpse of Damien Hirst, one of Ronnie's great friends, and of his son, Ronnie Jr., watching in the gallery. This is the third of 4 sessions in this best of 35 frames final. 8 more frames to be played this afternoon, so back to Willie and John we go.
Final day, the World Championship, tremendous atmosphere. And Ali Carter, well, that last frame.
Thank you, frame
that he
18.
won
Ali Carter to break.
last night will give him a ray of hope, but these first few frames in this session, so important. Big task, Will.
Yeah, absolutely, John. And the fact that Ali only made 2 breaks over 50 in that last session and still managed to win 4 frames will give him hope. And Ali Carter has... he had a bad session yesterday. Everybody has a bad session at the Crucible. His bad session was yesterday, but he still managed to win 4 frames. If he can just up his game just a little bit, this could go all the way. But O'Sullivan undoubtedly will have a lot to say about that.
Just flick the brown. It's not too bad. If you catch the brown thumb in the face, you'd have left a long pot on for Ali. Thumbs up there, and there's Ronnie Jr. What a proud moment it is for that young man. Probably doesn't realise the importance of the day, but he just wants his dad to win.
Yes, I can't think of a bigger thrill, John, than having your son watching you play. Stephen Hendry's had his son here before. Looks like he's enjoying his cup of tea and a biscuit, doesn't he?
Meanwhile, Ronnie is looking at this red. He can just get past the blue. He's got a slight angle, so he could run round off 2 cushions. I always feel it makes the shot a little bit easier. If you're trying to stun it playing below centre, they can just drift offline, but I think he can run round off 2 cushions. Bound to be on the black. Beautifully struck. First chance, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
There you see on Hawkeye, it was an 8'2" pot, and as John mentioned, they're a lot easier when you can play on plain ball, and that's what he did there.
9.
We see a little bit of reaction here. There's 3 reds in a line at the side of the pack there. He wants to miss the first red and arc the cue ball into that middle red and push through them. Ronnie's probably one of the best in the world at this particular shot if he decides to play it. Oh, he's hit the first red. That's why nothing happened. When we get a chance to show you the slow-mo again, he's tried to arc round that first red. Just watch here.
16.
It just kisses the first red, and that's why he didn't get any reaction. Just needed to miss that red. He's still got a cuttable red, but very tough.
Well, because it was such a thin cut, I had to trust to luck for position. He won't be complaining about that.
Doesn't have to play many
90.
shots with the rest, Ronnie, because he's such a proficient player left-handed. And because he doesn't have to play many, this is not a straightforward rest shot. I don't know why I didn't play more with the rest, because he's brilliant.
Well, that was inch perfect, and it wasn't the easiest. He had to avoid the kiss on the second red. Couldn't have played it better.
$27. $28.
He's already had a look at that red at the back of the pack that will pot, so there's no need to play into them here.
Yes, I think if you're going to go into them, you want to go directly into
35.
them. You don't want to play off the black and come off the top cushion if you can avoid it.
36.
Maybe that's all he's left. There's the trophy. Ronnie has had it in his hands on 3 occasions. Didn't have to play a cannon. There was one of their own, of course, Ali Carter. Well, it's every
43.
player's dream from the moment you pick up a cue. Can you get that trophy in your hands and be world champion?
44.
Got an excellent record, obviously, Ronnie. He's only been in 3 finals and won them all. So Ali Carter's got that to contend with as well. And very, very quickly, after some 4 minutes of break building time, he's already passed the 50 mark. And still, it appears, in perfect position.
51.
Yeah, it's always a bit tense, isn't it, in the arm, the first frame, but you wouldn't think so with Ronnie. He's got lovely pace and that cue ball and pinpoint control. Just look in, there is another red available into this corner. You see it there, the one just to the right of the pink.
52.
So you can just pick them off one at a time, if he so wishes.
Fantastic picture there of this magnificent Crucible Theatre Sheffield. Not only a player's dream to get hold of the trophy, John, not many players have, but to even play here,
59.
the home of snooker, and I hope for a long, long time to come. This is Ali's last chance of getting a shot at this game in this
60.
frame. The fact that the white's gone very, very close to the cushion makes both black and pink slightly tricky.
Yeah, needs the black and one more red. Oh, made it look easy. And that black was missable, as you said, Will. But no problem.
67.
This red to go 68 points in front. And there's only 67 remaining. What a start from Ronnie. Great opening red. And apart from maybe that thin cut where you could say, or Ali would think he was lucky to be on the yellow, has played some wonderful shots. Just the start that Ronnie was looking for, not the one that Ali needed.
73. 74.
Well, Ronnie heading towards his 12th century here at the Crucible, has already made 11. And as John just mentioned, this break has been, since the quite lucky kiss on the yellow, he hasn't put a foot wrong in this break.
80.
Could be the 70th of the tournament.
81.
And of course, what an advantage, what a talent to be able to play a shot like that. Hampered by the blue, left-handed. Amazing.
87. 88.
There's not many things in sport you can see, John, that when the best players are playing, that you can enjoy much more than those sort of
95.
an in full flight.
96.
Yeah, there's plenty of people who can make 100 breaks and clear all the balls, but with this style, this panache, absolutely superb. Well, surely he can't pot this, can he? Surely he can't pot this. Oh, unlucky. Well, what a start from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Got one chance, tremendous long red. In it went, and the rest looked like a formality. He stretched his lead once again to 4. He leads 11-7.
Well, there you can see the centuries board, John, and obviously we broke the 50 barrier in 2003, and it's been a gentle, apart from 2006 where it was down to 46, but the surprising one there is 2009, John, 83.
Yeah, they must have had buckets that year, mustn't they?
Except, to be honest, John, I don't think I've ever seen all the players play better than this year, and I'm surprised that's the 83's not been broken.
Yeah, and they're giving £200 Betfred for every century break made to the Avon House Children's Hospice, and if they make 75, they're going to make it up to 25,000. This is the opening red.
Well, John mentioned in commentary, if you stun this in, it's a difficult shot. Running it in is still difficult, but less difficult than playing the run through, and he played it to perfection. So Ronnie O'Sullivan, for the second time in this match, has opened a 4-frame lead. Ali Carter's, just played one poor safety shot, and it wasn't really poor because Ronnie knocked that long red in. You don't mind if a player just makes a century off a good pot. When it hurts you is when you're in the balls yourself and you miss, and then they make a century. So he won't be kind of beating himself up just yet.
Started the session at 92%. Now, after that tremendous start, 93%. Oh, he's just below 90%. I always think you've got to be 90% or above if you're going to win these matches at this level. Well, if he's got a good length with the cue ball, that red to the left corner pocket, which he's left, won't be too easy. It will not be easy, this, because it looks for all the world as though the cue ball is going to run into the main bunch of reds, unless you played it with side, and being so close makes the pot more difficult if you try to do too much with the cue ball. Oh, and not only that, he's not the black in, but the main concern for Ronnie, what has he left? And nothing easy.
Well, the kiss on the yellow took the cue ball to the side cushion, so Ali can consider himself a little bit unlucky there. He forced Ronnie into a mistake with the pot he played there, and this red is very tricky.
Yeah, and I think he tried to play it with a bit of side, didn't he? And as I say, being near the cushion. Once again, Ali has knocked a red near the corner, and this time he's not got the cue ball near the baulk cushion, so this is a lot easier chance for Ronnie. Still a tough red, but Ali can't afford to be leaving Ronnie these chances.
Goodness me. I can't begin to tell you how difficult that is to stun them in. Running them in is not too bad, but to stun them in, that is tough. Never touch the sides. The natural angle will probably just about kiss the red that's nearest the middle pocket, but he could go around the back of it, so he's got to be a little bit careful. If he goes around the back, he'll be on nothing, and he has gone around the back. Just play to kiss that to stay near the red. Don't think the red is nearest the pink will pass into the corner. No, it definitely won't, so he'll be looking at a safety now.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 8.
Yeah, didn't want to risk. There was a red that he could play down the cushion, the right-hand cushion, but he's treating Ali Carter with the utmost respect. And the game. You know, don't take liberties with the balls, because sometimes they don't forgive you, and Ronnie, well, that's been the secret of his success this couple of weeks, Willie. For me, he's respected his opponent and the game.
Absolutely couldn't agree with you more. I don't think we've seen a head loss from Ronnie. I think his team have been working very closely with him, and he looks the real deal. And that is an excellent safety shot. Those three reds on the right-hand side are causing a big problem here for Ali. The two reds to the right of the pink, he can't risk playing those unless he plays them very, very thin. Anything other than thin, he kisses into the reds. You
called it, Will, and that was the problem. He may not have left anything to this corner pocket, but the red he can and into is certainly available to the far right corner. You would think Ronnie would take it on. Doesn't have to do much with the cue ball to be on green or brown.
Be worrying Ali Carter at the minute. Every ball he's played is hit in the middle of the pocket. He looks in the mood today. Right in the heart of the pocket. Obviously a lot of celebs turn out for these matches. We've got Kevin Davis here today from Bolton. We've got Damien Hirst, the artist here. Andy Goldstein's there as well, the radio presenter. They all come out to watch this man.
Five. Six.
Ronnie's great friend, Damien Hirst, comes to most of Ronnie's matches now. There he is,
30.
the renowned artist, one of the best artists in the world now. Very good friend of Ronnie's. And just to mention a couple of more, we've got Darren Day and CJ Demouy here as well, so a lot of celebs here today.
Yeah, well, this is the big one in the world of snooker, and someone once described it as a 17-day soap opera. There's CJ and Darren. There's Darren Day there, next to CJ. Don't ask him a question, Darren, he knows everything.
He tried to get on the tour as well, Darren, at one time. He can make 100 break down. He's a very good player. But it makes you wonder
20.
sometimes why we all try and play this game when you see somebody like O'Sullivan playing the way he does, but we all know he's vulnerable at times. But at this moment
21.
in time, he's hitting the ball very sweetly. Now, he's going to play the cannon into the reds. Now, there's two reds to the right of the pack. He'd like to hit the middle one of those three on the right, and that would open the red into the corner. And he'll just hit the first one again. He's a fraction. Has he made a plant in the middle? If he has, he's fortunate.
Well, I think
28.
he has. Well, they're close enough that it can be made, let me put it this way. That's the plant. It's just on the top jaw, but if you hit the first red on the right-hand side, it'll push the second one to the left. He's playing that well, he's making his own plants. Well, he's not taking it on, I'm surprised.
Yes, he looks like he's playing the red in the middle, the more difficult red, and phone the police. He's missed one.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 28.
This is Ali Carter's first chance with his hand on the table.
Yeah, well, what Ali could do with now is an easy starter. And if the red doesn't go to the right middle, the one to the left middle is very tricky. Particularly when you've not had your hand on the table much. Well, didn't score a point in the last frame. He's got 7 on the board this one, but that was a foul when Ronnie knocked the black in. And that just confirms it. Time's into the last pot. 17.5 minutes. Well, refused the red, it was difficult, but look at the cue ball. He didn't even get up past the baulk line. If ever you've seen tension in the arm, that was it. Just completely quit on the shot.
Now that will give Ali Carter some courage. and some belief. You didn't expect Ronnie to miss that one. Carter's got a few people down himself in the audience, and then we had a few cheers there as they said, "Come on, Ali, this is first real chance."
One.
Yes, there's not going to be anything easy for Ali here, as we saw with that badly hit safety shot. He just didn't get the cue through, so he's just got to try and really concentrate on his technique and play his way into this break. Don't look much further than the next ball you've got to play, and he's underhit that one.
Underhit by 2 feet. He's just not getting through the cue ball at the moment. He's ultra tight. Good recovery. Now's the cue ball. Not too bad.
And of course, plenty of encouragement, because everybody wants to see this turn to a very close, tense final, and they'll be right behind Ali. This Crucible audience that don't have a favourite, the neutrals, and there'll be a few of those.
Oh dear.
Carter 5.
Oh dear. Whatever level you play at, you can't afford to miss a colour as easy as that. Even in your local club league, you'll be punished missing those.
One.
Yeah, this is it. As I said, when he came to the table, nothing was going to be straightforward. He just had to concentrate on just each pot as it came along, and when they're playing well, these pockets look so easy, but when you're just struggling a bit, they just seem to tighten up. Ronnie just over screwed that, but he's still on the red, just about.
7.
Play up for the blue if he gets a nice angle. Well, he may be playing for the black the way he's striking the cue ball.
8.
And those 2 reds just below the pink, certainly one of them is going to be available to the right corner. Whether that red on the top cushion is just spoiling, that's why he's playing the pink, to play for one of those 2 reds. Now with a 38-point lead, those 2 reds in the middle of the table, he's only looking for 3 more reds, and it'll be the second frame of this session on the scoreboard, and getting further
15.
clear.
And in double quick time, John, nothing doesn't take anything out of you when you play very quickly and get points on the board. He's looking at possibly playing the more difficult red first, but I don't think he's quite
21.
on it nicely enough. He's probably thinking, well, do I leave myself an angle on this next colour to move a red out, or do I play for that red that's over the middle, or
22.
nearest the middle pocket?
Well, the fact that he'll only need the red, I mean, you could just roll the black in and play for the one along the top cushion. No heroics, doesn't need the colour. If he pots this red, he'll go 54 in front, with just 51 remaining.
You can see Ali nodding in disappointment there. He knows he had every chance to win this frame, and to be perfectly honest, he's had a chance last night to win 3 or 4 frames, and he won 4. The 3 frames he lost, this is the miss that you just can't forgive yourself for missing those.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 37.
Bradley
and
Carter's
50.
decided that's enough again. No, O'Sullivan looks in fine form. No high breakdown frame, but a couple of 30s takes him further clear at 12-7.
Yes, Ronnie, in brisk, business-like fashion today, and we found out last night when I was speaking to his manager that Ronnie actually had food poisoning for the whole of the first day of that final. He got it on Friday night. He ate a single banana all day. That was it. Yeah. And he still comes out 10-7 in front. He looks like he means business today, John.
Certainly hitting the ball very well. It's slightly worrying for Ali Carter now because the gap is getting wider and he doesn't look like he's going to take his chances. The one shot there that was very poor was when he tried to clip off the red and go up to Bork and he left it right next to the brown. OK, Ronnie missed the chance and put him in afterwards, but it doesn't look like any department's going 100% at the moment.
The pattern of his matches, Stephen, seems to have been that at one point in them he has been more aggressive in a more decisive fashion. Do you detect that that is coming in this session?
At some point in this match he's going to have to start going for his shots and taking the bull by the horns because it's not working what he's doing at the moment.
OK, and your assessment so far, Steve?
Sometimes when you're out there, you know, even if you've been playing well in previous sessions, you get on the table and all of a sudden you try to let your arm go, you try to let it go through nice and smoothly, and it feels like you've got the weight of the world on the end of your elbow and there's somebody holding it back. And that's when you start under-hitting the shot sometimes. And it seems to be what Ali Carter's been doing in a couple of the sessions we've seen, especially at the start as well. It seems like he's got to relax a bit more. That's the hardest thing to do. How do you relax when you're trying so hard?
Yeah.
If he can do it, and possibly you'll start to do it when the gap gets bigger.
Yeah, under the most severe pressure imaginable in your sport in this third session of the World Championship final. Ali with it all to do now.
Breaks off, and we can have our opinions of what's gone wrong and everything else, but when you're playing Ronnie O'Sullivan, and Ali knew at the start of this match that Ronnie was coming into this in the best of form, it's a hard thing to imagine. You know, sometimes you think you've got to play extra well, if you like, to beat Ronnie, and there is that danger that you just try too hard. But then I have a tendency to agree with Stephen Hendry. I think maybe you should go for a few more now and just give it a go. You know, you don't want to come out of a match and not really have given yourself your best chance to play well. And I think Ali at the moment, he's not showing anything like the form, particularly in the last two sessions, that he's shown to get here.
Yeah, we've had 11 frames since Ali trailed 5-3 and he's made 2 breaks over 50, and you know, you wouldn't expect to win at any level just making a couple of 50 breaks, so he's just certainly got to up his scoring without any question. I know it's hard, I know it's the crucible, but you've got to do that. Ronnie's got this red on and we can see through the gap of the brown and blue, but there's no value in it because the black doesn't pot in the right hand corner as we look there. So no value in that.
Yeah, the only thing is, I can't see a safety. If he's going to play it, he's going to have to play it with a lot of left-hand side, which makes this pot very difficult. You have to put a lot of left-hand side on to avoid a kiss on the other balls. He decided to play the safety, played it with left-hand side. Superb. Superb.
Well, he's played the last 2 safety shots he's played, he's been with an inch of the baulk cushion, so not only has Ali got to put up with the break building, he's got to put up with him playing beautiful safety. Once again the brown's going to stop this ball going to baulk, is it? Oh no, it's just scrapped by it. That's a good safety shot, Ali, well played. Just needs to get a bit of time on the table.
This is what Alan's got to go at. As you can see, not a lot. And judging from what Hawkeye's showing us, I can't see a return to balk. He's looking to come off the side, the right-hand side cushion, but looks like, well, he's trying one of these deep screws, but you're never certain where the reds are going to go. You're never certain where the reds are going to go when you play that. And he's caught the green and left Ronnie a straight red to the corner.
Well, you can see a disappointment, and he played that well, actually, didn't he? I mean, bar the kiss on the green, he's got a good white, and with the kiss on the green, as you rightly say, on straight red. Very unlucky there. Decelerated there. Didn't get through the ball.
Yeah, funnily enough, when I said he left him a straight red, it was just off straight, and they're the ones that if you don't really get through the cue ball, and there's a distance to travel and you're putting backspin on it, it just slides off by the time it reaches the red. If that had been straight, I don't think he could have missed it. Not the way he's played so far. Well, safe enough. If you don't find the top cushion, you just make it that much easier for your opponent to play a better safety shot. Just looking to see where the reds will finish, but he needs to find the top cushion with a shot. And close enough, you would have thought, to stop Ali playing return to the top cushion. And if he can't, then he can only play a little roll-up.
Yeah, it's a clever shot, wasn't it, there? Covering the left-hand side of the reds with the black. Well, he can only hit this full ball, so there'll be a lot of reds moving around here. Has he got them all safe? Well, he's played it very well. Good goal to get there.
Well, that one's a bit pacey. Now this is the test for Ali. There's a couple of reds available to the left middle. I know they're risky, but has the time come where he has to just take the odd risk? You'd hate to let a match run away from you without just giving an opportunity for your ability to shine through. He's taking this red on. Big shot. Well played. It was a dangerous shot because he knew he'd be leaving all the balls on for Ronnie. Now, can he capitalise on this chance?
Yes, it's a long time since he's had the balls in this kind of position. This is almost a practice position, but when you've been kept off the table for so long, has anyone 3 frames in the last 6? But certainly the way the first 2 frames have started, what he wouldn't give for a 70-odd break here. Sooner rather than later he'd like to get up onto the black, and then he can score very quickly.
9.
There's so much room around the black spot. You've got a chance of playing for it here. Anything but straight and anything but near the cushion, you're okay.
10.
And you've done just about both. Finished straight and got a little bit nearer the cushion than he wanted, but he's blessed with a wonderful cue action and a lot of cue power, so screwing back's not an issue.
$17.
Well, it depends what sort of an angle he's got on this red now to the middle. He may be valuing stunning across the left-hand side cushion and playing for the blue. Well, decided to play for the ball colours. I don't blame him. I just thought if you had a chance, maybe more of a potting angle, he would have thought about playing for the blue. It'd just be nice to have that blue on the spot.
That's one of those shots where you just play in areas, and unfortunately the kiss is not great because he hasn't got the angle now to get onto the black.
21.
When you're playing a green like that, you're just playing to finish on 2 or 3 reds, and he's betwixt and between, so he's going to have to play it for blue or bought colour. The thing here, without the kiss, is going to be on all 3, really. Might take John's choice here and dropping on the blue, but it depends. No, he's played for bought colour again, and wow. Pouring signs for Carter and his fans at the moment. That's twice he's been perfectly in the balls, and twice he's missed.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, when he had a similar sort of pink into what we call the blind pocket, he hit it too thick. And it just shows he's probably made a little bit more of an allowance, and that one he hit too thin. And it's a lonely place to be when you're trying to second guess yourself.
Not an easy shot to get onto a colour here. May just decided to play for the blue. Yeah, it was tough to get onto a colour. Trying to get the blue back into play. The 2 reds either side of the pink spot are the ones he'll be playing here, just playing a deep screw. Like to finish somewhere near his backhand here. Always overscrewed this. He's got second prize. He's got one in the middle, and he didn't play there.
6. $7. $14. $15.
Well, we're
22.
sweeping in, but we'll sweep in to see that Ronnie's not perfect on this red. He wanted to be straight on it. What is it? Quarter ball cut? Maybe less. And you can see if he plays it plain ball, we'll run into the 2 reds. He might not mind that, bring those reds into play, but don't miss the pot. And he has took his eye off the pot. As I say, he wanted to be straighter on that red, and then he's thinking, well, I'm going to run into the 2 reds. Not certain where the cue ball was going to finish. And just hit it too thick.
And when you're struggling, this is what's where this red finishes now. It's hit the other jaw again and just rested. OK, it looks easy from here, but it's right on the cushion. I mean, the easiest shot is to play one in off the other, but he's not playing well enough for those at the minute. He's going to have to play the clip. He'll have no idea where the cue ball is going to go, because it's probably going to cannon into the 3 reds just above it. Now, where's the cannon going to go? Is it going to be kind to him? Is it going to be kind to him? It is kind to him. Now, come on, Carter, now. This is a good... You're happy to get one chance against somebody in O'Sullivan's form. This is your second in this frame. You've got to make it count.
Five. 6. 11.
A little bit twixt in between. He's got this red to the right middle. He's got to be careful with position. You play for the black.
12.
It's okay, he could control the cue ball, no problem. Didn't think it was as straight as that. Played that shot nicely.
19.
18 points the lead. The red's just a little bit awkward. Whenever the
20.
red's a little bit awkward, it's imperative you get good position on the colour. .22 points the lead now, so you would think with the type of colours he's going to be playing on, he needs 3 of these remaining 4 reds. So it's not straightforward by any means.
Yes, I think he tried to get onto the one next to the pink there, because that's very awkward, isn't it? He needs that angle on the green, just a bit of drop on the cushion, then he can get the pink in play as well. Let's have a look at the angle he's got on the green. Will he play for the one at this end, or will he just drop on the cushion? The angle he's got on the green is good to get rid of that red in between pink and green, and I think that's the one he should play for. He might not get a better chance to get on it than this. You can always see in his mind, John, can't you? He doesn't really want to risk finishing near the cushion. He's just not. He's playing with very little confidence at the moment, and he's not going to play for that red. It's hard to see that, isn't it? Hard to understand why he didn't.
27.
Well, I think he's in that mood at the moment. He's looking for things to go wrong. At least he knew he was certain to be on this red, but using the rest, it's no gimme. So another chance gone. But as it wasn't going to be easy for Ali to win the frame, same applies to Ronnie. So he may hope, Ali, that he gets a third chance. Well, he's not perfect on this red.
6.
Well, if he decides to play the pot, he might play it really slowly and play the cannon into red that's next to the pink, because that will cover the pocket. Doesn't look like he's going to play that, though.
I'll tell you what, though, Willie, I like the shout. And it's unlike Ronnie to miss a trick. Although maybe he doesn't fancy the pot.
Looks like he's going to play the
snooker.
snooker. Yeah, I agree, John. But it would have been a nice shot to play.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Don't think this is the best of safety shots Ronnie's ever played in his life.
he thought so much about the snooker, he forgot about the red he was hitting. And he's left it. And there's just a slight angle. But you've got to cue this so well. Is Ali up to it? Yeah, just had to cue it absolutely perfect, and you know, when you're going through it like Ali is at the moment, well, nothing's easy, and that was difficult anyway. Now, he needs a good angle on the green, and he's immediately walked round to look at the yellow because he obviously hasn't got that angle on the green. So it's going to be a very precise positional shot. Well, that's where he'd like to put the cue ball. Can he get it there? Got an angle on the yellow. It's all about line and length. Just needed to bounce a fraction off the cushion, but he's on it, and if he rolls the red in, he's bound to be on the pink. And the frame at his mercy.
Yes, the fact that it's on the cushion is making this a lot more difficult. I don't know whether the cannon into the green is going to be easy. We'll just have a look at the angle on the red when referee Michele Tubbs cleaned the white. Yes, it looks like he's bound to kiss the green, so this is Ali's last chance in this frame. This is the only one that could go wrong. Played it hard enough to miss the kiss on the green. 16 in front. Up to and included the brown.
Yeah, it's easy done. 16 behind as it happens, Willie.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. So Ronnie has a quick look at the
7.
scoreboard. He's aware. And 13 points behind means that he needs the 6 remaining colours. When he pots the pink, he'll be 7 points in front, but there'll still be the black on the table.
9.
And that could be the only problem for him, getting from pink to black. I always say the key to a clearance like this is brown to blue, but with the pink not being on its spot, that isn't necessarily so, although he'd like a good angle on the blue to get close to the pink.
$16.
Well, straight enough on the blue. He can't get close to the pink now. But I suppose the fact the black's not on his spot makes it a little bit easier. Oh, he managed
21.
to go down. So the pink will put him 7 points in front. So he still needs the black. And this
27.
looks... Well, okay, you wouldn't expect him to miss this. So Ali Carter has had 3 good chances in this frame and couldn't make the most of them. And another frame slips away from Ali Carter. A shake of the head, real disappointment. Ronnie O'Sullivan won't mind, and neither does young Ronnie in the balcony. They're delighted. Now 6 frame gap, 13-7.
And you have to feel for Ali Carter there, because how close is he really to losing a grip in this final now?
Well, he's starting to look a little bit resigned in his seat there, and you know, the spectre of the getting beat a session early is looming, because he needs to get a frame on the board quickly, because the more Ronnie gets in front, it gets more confident. It just gets harder and harder for Carter to get frames on the board.
What do you detect about his body language and the way he's playing at the moment, Steve?
Well, he's been up against it all the match, really, and obviously the hole's getting deeper and deeper. there's very few times in a snooker player's career where there's the chance of this type of thing happening. You know, the World Finals, semi-finals, perhaps about it really for a big lead like this and you still got time to go.
Finals as well.
Yeah, to some degree, the quarterfinals. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, quite, yeah. In your
fair
case,
enough.
perhaps.
Well, yes. But so the experience of this is it's not a nice thing to happen.
No.
And you've got to sit out there. Basically, like the execution is happening, and you've just got to sort of suffer it. And a bit of embarrassment factor as well, John. Yeah.
Yeah, I had it against Steve in the final here. I played absolutely nothing left to give before the final. I had nothing in the final to give, and it is the loneliest chair in the world. And he's playing very similar to what I can remember. You have a little bit left in you, and a chance comes, and you've got concentration for 5 or 6 balls, and then all of a sudden it's gone again. It's like as if you find a little bit of petrol, and then all of a sudden it goes. And I'm not saying he's completely out of this, but there's worrying signs. It looks exactly how I felt.
Yes, and indeed the reverse, the total opposite is true of Ronnie O'Sullivan, whose body language is... Well, it's saying that he believes he's going to be the world champion for the 4th time here. We saw that little flinch of the fist as he went out there.
I haven't seen that one.
Indeed, yeah. 6 is the difference.
And 4 is the target for O'Sullivan. So 5 is the target, I should say, for O'Sullivan, and Ali's probably decided now that there is a gap through the red and black, but is he going to change his game plan? It's not looking good at the moment. Just got to keep your belief, haven't you? I mean, it's hard. It's the hardest venue in the world to play, but you've just got to keep your belief, Ali. You're here on merit. You played the best snooker in that half of the draw. Just keep your chin up and just battle.
Yeah, it was a little bit to the left jaw, but he played it with such nice pace. And that's the one thing with Ronnie, he's got such a beautiful flowing cue action that he doesn't have to particularly hit the ball hard. And if you don't hit it too hard, you give the ball more chance to go in the pocket.
4.
Just flicked past that red and in a way made it on for the far right corner. Left him a nice angle to come back for the black. And there you see the loose red at the bottom. He'd like to be low on this, so in potting it he could bring another few reds
14.
into play. He only needs 3 or 4 to come out. There you go, just stunned into them.
15.
And when he gets in and around, it's a joy to watch, well, isn't it?
We just can't imagine him not scoring 40, can you? You just know with loose reds he's going to get that kind of score
22.
at least.
And there's Ali in that loneliest seat in the world, the Crucible Theatre. When your opponent's at the table potting all the balls and you're sitting there, you're just thinking about the missed chances you've had. Not a good place to be. But that's sport. That's sport. And there's the lonely seat. Isolated.
Opted to take the tougher pot into the corner pocket. And the pace he played it gave the red every chance to go in. A fraction harder, that may have not gone in, but the delicate little colour on the red to leave the pink in the middle. And the two guys in the studio have inflicted massive defeats on opponents, Stephen Hendry and Steve Davis, over the years here at the Crucible. It's looking a little bit worrying now for Ali Carter and his supporters to think that it could be over with a session to spare the way things are going.
Yeah, and this looks like a tricky operation here for Michaela Tabb. She's got to get the pink as close to its own spot as it possibly can in a direct line with the top cushion. She feels that she can get it closer, but she has to move the red rather than put her hand in.
How many ball markers are you allowed to carry it on? Is there a rule?
I don't know. She's probably got big pockets.
Is that going to go in directly on its own spot?
Well, maybe a little bit lower down towards the two reds. Now, she's got to see if the red will go on back there. Are we having a close look? I don't think the red will go there, Michaela. Oh, steady. Need a steady hand, you know. I don't think it goes there, does it? Hasn't got to be touching the pink, so no. So the pink has to go a bit further down. Fair play to her. Give me a few minutes. Go and boil an egg. But she just wants to make certain that she gets this pink in the right place. I mean, a lot of referees would have just got down and just put the pink as close as they thought they could get it. But she wants to do it right. And put the cue ball back, which is in the way.
Well, I think she deserves a round of applause for that, to be perfectly honest. A big sigh of relief there from Michaela. Undoubtedly one of the game's great referees, if not the best. Unlikely to get a position to put balls back like that.
Yeah, Ronnie just overstretching. But yeah, it was important that the pink went into there. That's where it was supposed to go, and the referee was supposed to make every effort.
$30. $37. $38.
Still a loose red to play for. If he's got a nice angle on this black, he may decide to play the cannon on the main bunch, but the loose red is easy to play on. And of course, off this red, if he could get low on the black,
45.
then he'd be able to pot the black and run straight into them.
$46.
And he's perfect on the black. Now it all depends on this split. He's got a 46-point lead at the moment. He's checked to see if there's a plant anywhere. If these open up correctly, could be frame over. But as we always say, it doesn't matter how good you are,
53.
when you try to split them like that, you're never certain to be on a ball. I mean, he couldn't have hit them much better, will he, could he?
Hit the perfect gap, didn't he? And was always bound to be on a red there, but as you can see, is very close to this red. It's available into the middle, but I'll be surprised if he takes it on, because I can't see how he can get a player as a shot to nothing. But the way he's feeling, he wants to take it on, and he is doing. Not only is he taking it on, he's knocking it in as well.
Yeah. And managed to feel he could play it, but there's a tough brown on here. He's just missed it. If he knocks that in, that's certainly frame ball. So Ali Carter got to dust himself off now and come back. Comes to the table 54 4 points in arrears, but there's still 75 remaining. But has he got it left in him to take advantage of this opportunity?
Well, it's the last frame before the interval in this game, so he's got time to regroup. Can he, as John said, just clear, give himself a chance in this match? He's got every chance now.
Eight.
The thing is, how do you make yourself feel like you're just in a practice game and not in the final of the World Championship? Because in practice these would disappear like lightning.
Nine.
I think Ali's played too well to get defeated with a set and despair. That wouldn't be quite fair. But nothing's fair in this game. And this is a wonderful chance for him to pinch it and go into the interval trailing 13-8.
15. $16.
Well, you could see he was walking round. I think he wanted to be on the brown. He's looked at the pink, but he'd be slightly hampered by the brown. He wants everything as easy as possible, but he's just slightly off the wrong angle for the brown to get close to the next red. And there's pressure now on every shot. That goes without saying.
20. $21.
Nicely played. Now it's imperative he gets a
28.
good angle on the colour off this red, because that last red is a little bit awkward.
$29.
Now, has he got to stun off the top cushion? If he has, it could go wrong.
Yes, I don't blame him for playing near the cushion to make this just a roll in red. If it had been playing with the rest again, he's missed a couple with the rest.
34.
The only problem is that he's just left it at an angle where he's almost going to run into the pink with the cue ball. Didn't have the right angle on the pink. Yellow's going to be tough.
Yeah, he's not got the right angle, as you say. But this pink will put him 13 points behind. So he's going to need these 6 remaining colours
41.
to win the frame. And this yellow must look very tough to him.
This is not a natural, is it? It's almost a stun run through. Got the position absolutely perfect. Just finished so awkward on the last red. He just couldn't do anything else, but as we see the yellow again, it was very close. The last red, he just couldn't quite get onto a colour properly.
Got the snooker. Looks an easy hit, but the old problem, it's not hitting it. Can you get it safe? 2 cushions, side cushion, baulk cushion into the yellow. That's the line. Couldn't have hit it much better. And may have a snooker behind the brown if the yellow rolls on. I don't think it's quite rolled enough. But I don't think, well, I don't know. Ronnie's having a close look. Can he see enough of this yellow to play the pot? Maybe just. No, didn't feel he could, but the fact he could hit it, he could play a good safety, and that's superb. And that's the other thing, you see, that when we come to the end of frames like this, Ronnie's safety play is as good as anyone in the game, or probably who's ever played the game.
Yeah, when he was working very closely with Ray Reardon, he used to, Ray Reardon used to get him involved in the safety and want him to play good safety. And you saw Ronnie there standing behind the shot. He was interested to see where the cue ball finished. Usually when he plays safe, he just walks off back to the seat. He's involved in every aspect of the game at the moment. I've never seen him look better.
Yellow dangerously close to the corner pocket. Took a bit of a risk there, but the pinks come to his rescue. Good hit from Ronnie. Is he going to leave the yellow? He has done. So this is another chance for Ali, but such a thin contact, he's got to be careful here that he doesn't kiss the pink. If he can miss the pink, he can get on the green. In his effort to miss the pink, he played with a lot of right-hand side. Tough shot to play under the circumstances, and maybe the wrong one.
Well, yellow to green is obviously the stumbling block here because he needs up to the brown.
Two.
Not perfect on this green. Probably have to play with the brown into the middle pocket, turn off two cushions and play it in the left-hand middle as we look.
Five.
Looks just about. I was just about to say perfect, but it's not. The fact that he needs the brown, he won't be playing the heroics with the position with the cue ball. He's looking very, very hard to beat at the moment. Ali Carter has missed 3 or 4 shots in this session that could have won him at least 2 frames.
20.
O'Sullivan started with 54. Ali Carter replied with 41. But it's that last 27 from O'Sullivan that, as he kisses up to his son in the balcony, Ronnie Jr. Ronnie's getting ever closer to winning this match now. He wins that frame, and he now leads 14-7.
Indeed, well, 4 more to play this afternoon. 4 more, of course, is what he needs. And we're going to share these frames in the company of 2 world champions in an All-Ireland duo, Ken Doherty and Dennis Taylor.
Thank you, Hazel. And that was a fascinating piece with Dr. Steve Peters there. But as you've seen Ali coming out there, he had a little snack, so maybe he's got a bit of fuel on board and he's here for the fight in this little mini session, which he's got to win. Well, 3-1 would be very nice, but can he get to the table? He has kept his focus throughout the 17 days. In the past, we've seen Ronnie come here to the Crucible, and for a week he's been in terrific form and in great mood. And then all of a sudden it would change in the second week. It hasn't happened this year, and that's why he's produced the form that he has.
Yes, Dennis, and how determined he's looked, particularly the first 4 frames. Very focused and playing with real purpose. Looked like both players got a little bit tired towards the end of the session last night. But Sullivan really looked very determined from the first ball he potted this afternoon. Not a good safety. Covered on this red down to the bottom right hand corner pocket. So Trying to drop on these couple of reds on the top cushion. Doesn't want to go by them, and that's exactly what he's done.
It's usually the case when you are struggling that you don't get the run of the ball. As you see, that white just touched the red, but I don't think he's left a great deal. The black looks to be tied up, so there's no value in potting that red along the cushion. Funny, at the start of this match we had a handshake here. Just watch Ali as he eyes Ronnie up. Have a look at those eyes. He keeps staring at him. Ronnie's turned away and he's still staring at him. That was an interesting one, Ken.
It was, wasn't it? And if you look at Ronnie O'Sullivan, a little bit of a wry smile there as well. There was a definite moment. They both stared at each other. Now, has he knocked the black on as well as knocking this red over the bottom left-hand corner pocket? I think the black, if he gets high enough on the black, I think the black does pot, and there you see, that's exactly where he'd love to put the cue ball. He might be able to knock the other red out as well, Dennis, if he manages to get on the black from this red.
So difficult to judge a screw shot like that, almost the full length of the table, and he just got into it a bit too much. And a little thin snick will take him around the angles, somewhere behind the yellow near the cushion. Well, in fact, he can swerve to get to the yellow with the same result.
Ronnie O'Sullivan won.
But Ali's just got to hang in here. You know, Ronnie's, well, he's given Ali a couple of chances. I suppose 2 of the frames Ali could have won. So he's got to hang in there. And his opponent still needs 4 more frames, and it can turn around, but he would have to start playing at the top of his form. So give it your best shot, Ali.
Shake of the head from Ali Carter. Ronnie a little bit lucky covering this red. He's knocked over this bottom hand corner pocket. The target was in behind the yellow, but didn't expect to knock the red this close to the pocket. And once again he's in a bit of a predicament here. Even if he does manage to get back to balk, that red is always going to be there, so just got to be very careful. A safety shot.
That's what he's looking at. Okay, just showing you that there's very little available to get back down the table. I suppose he could come off the right side cushion to make contact with the red near the pocket, but even then he would leave a possible pot on. Well, that was about the best he could do, but he's left a possible red to the middle pocket, and if he drops this in, he could finish on the yellow. And that's exactly what he's done. So one good positional shot here, and he has the angle on the yellow to get back up to the reds. Okay, the pink and black are tied up somewhat at the moment. In fact, he might even be able to pot the yellow and possibly play a cannon on the pink and red. Just depends how he feels. Because if he plays for a single red, he's once again checking to see if that black would go from the left side of the table into the right corner. So we'll find out after this shot. Took his eye off the pot.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Yeah, shouts of, come on, Ali. The fact that he was digging down on that cue ball just made the pot just a little bit more difficult. A couple of reds he can go at here.
One.
And that's not the best shot he's ever played. He wanted to be the other side of that blue, just to come back down towards these reds.
Yeah, he's got the red over the pocket, so it's not imperative that he tries to force this around the angles. He could take that red and then get himself onto the yellow. Could play a nice little stun shot here and get around the back of the yellow.
6.
Well, he played that with a lot of side and decided to go up for the blue. The natural angle would have taken him into the yellow. I thought he might have stunned around the back of the yellow, but this will free the pink if he gets this right. He's let the white slip away. It's the only problem: if you catch that half ball, the white will always go towards one of the corner pockets.
12.
Yeah, and that stemmed from that opening red, didn't it? Then it's not getting up high on that blue. It's imperative. Just, you know, when you're this far behind, you want to try and make the next pot as easy as possible.
Ali Carter 12.
He's been struggling since he started this session. I mean, he's been struggling with the position, even in those first 4 frames. Then, as he was like short on a few balls, he wasn't getting through the cue ball like he was in the first couple of days. And I suppose it is down to how well Ronnie O'Sullivan has been playing, putting him under pressure. There's another excellent safety shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan. I must say, he's been so impressive, as well as his century breaks and break build, and his safety has been spot on. 89% safety success, 88% from Ali Carter.
Now he's pushed the red over the pocket, and the cannon on the blue has left a path possibly through for that red. Well, that's a little bit tight. I don't think he can get to the potting angle of that red. Not without a little trace of side to get it around the yellow. Ronnie feels as if he can pot it, but the camera angle we showed you, it's very tight indeed.
I tell you, this will be some shot, Dennis. The 4-ball plant, red onto yellow, onto red over the corner pocket.
Well, he might just cut this one in and... Well, he's put the pink in.
Oh. Ali Carter 6.
And he's played such a good safety shot. He's caused his own problem here.
I think he's left a free ball as well.
Just going to check.
She's just going to check.
No.
Well, Ali says it doesn't matter, so...
Although, well, okay, cue ball is tight on the ball cushion and he's got a difficult safety shot. But, I mean, if he has a free ball and he goes to the green in the middle, he's not going to be leaving anything, you know?
I'm just wondering if he's left a possible pot. If Ronnie can get past the blue and hit the cushion, he might just knock that red in that's near the pocket. He can see the other one, but the red's blocking the pocket. I think he can pass the blue and pot this. I really do. I'm surprised Ali didn't look at this. Well, he's just playing to land on it. I'm surprised that Ronnie didn't try and pot that.
Well, he's having a look at this red. It's almost dead straight up into the yellow pocket as we look. A lot of pressure on this shot. Oh, well played. Great shot. Well done. Excellent pot.
Still very difficult for Ali here, but at least he's got the pink on its spot.
7.
And the black's totally surrounded there. Could have done with a better angle on the pink. He's going away from the reds now. The one just to the right of the black and 3 reds is available into the right corner, but he can't get nicely onto that one. And what Ali's got to be thinking about is his match against Judd Trump. If you can come back from that 12-9 behind, he won four in a row. That's the sort of thoughts that have been going through his head at the moment. This is a great effort. If he misses the brown, he's got terrific cue power, Ali Carter. Needs to pull up a little bit. Now, you can't play a better positional shot than that.
14.
Very well played.
Well, if ever a shot was going to give him confidence, that's exactly what he needs right now. Is certainly that shot that was inch perfect positional shot. And this red just above the black to the left goes. Nice angle on this, and he could really certainly bring the black into play as well.
21.
Look at the action he got on that with reverse side. Played it with left hand side with the screw back, and as the white hits the cushion, it spins away up the table. Now he needs a nice little kiss here, and I don't think he's going to get it. That's the end of break.
27.
And he's getting down pretty quickly to play the safety shot. So the chance has slipped away, but nevertheless he's 43 in front. A lot of Ronnie O'Sullivan supporters in this crowd, but there's a lot of them would like to see a comeback from Ali Carter. Little bonus for Ali there, the green going safe. Well, that's a pretty good shot. I mean, he's got the white back there. Just as he played it, he was playing to pot that red. If the red didn't go in, he was going to wobble it. He always screwed the cue ball back up there.
Excellent return of safety from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Cut that all wrong. What's worse for Ali is that he's brought the yellow into play. But that was down to a superb safety shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan. He had him in a lot of trouble there.
Yeah, and they might look safe here, where the balls are situated, but I've seen a break yesterday. Ronnie made a 92 clearance, one of the finest breaks I've ever seen at the Crucible. Most of the balls were tied up, and somehow he got a total clearance at the end.
6.
Definitely trying to get on the black here, and I'm not quite sure the two reds that are close together and tight to that top cushion just behind the black, they may even be a plant. He's just coming around to have a look there now. Good shot, he says, Ronnie.
7.
Yeah, it was shot, he said, yeah. Just giving himself a little bit of praise. He knew as soon as he struck that he didn't hit it well. Consequently, he misses.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 7.
The blue, that wasn't straightforward by any means. But sometimes you miss a pot like that, but he didn't really play for anything there, and he hasn't finished on a red. I think that's the first blue in the final he's missed. He's potted 33 out of 34, believe it or not, Ken.
That was a nice little shot, wasn't it, from Ollie Carter? Snookered him on these reds. Okay, it's pretty easy to hit. Clever little shot. Oh, excellent shot. Excellent shot. He has. Just saying, we've seen an array of all different types of shots from Ronnie. The safety. So clever as well. It's not all about potting and break building.
He badly needs this frame, because there's every possibility if Ronnie was to pinch it that it could finish in this session. Another chance for Ali. Just depends. He could leave a nice angle on the blue to get up to the 4 reds. Let's see, what sort of angle has he got here? Has he gone too far? No, he can get the cannon. Might have to come off the cushion, or he could screw straight into them. I think the red next to the black goes, but he's got the angle to get to the reds. Unlucky. Just overcooked it slightly.
6.
Again, just looking to see these reds plant down into the left corner pocket. And when you've got a 42-point lead, you don't necessarily want to be bringing these reds into play. Well, they planted it. Well, he found one. Excellent shot. And just look at where the cue ball's finished.
Alec Archer 7.
Well, that was a strange one, Dennis, wasn't it? He played that so casually. I don't think he's even got the snooker, and Ronnie hasn't even looked down the line there, Dennis, and I don't think he's even snookered. We have a perfect camera angle there, and that's amazing.
The thing with Ali's shot, I thought he could get in behind the green, and maybe there wasn't enough room, but he got down very casually. I'm sure there was enough room to just nestle in behind the green. No, he couldn't, obviously, but I think he knew whichever way he played that, he was going to leave an easy escape. But that's a little careless. Ronnie will take this on. Okay, needs absolutely perfect cueing. Looking at that picture, he's close to the cushion. He's almost straight. Just watch the cue if it goes through in a straight line here. Oh, a cannon on the blue will help Ali, and it has.
I'll tell you what, Dennis, there'll be a big cheer if this goes in for his first frame today. He's waited a while for it. 44 points ahead, only 43 remaining. Well played, Eddie Carter.
6.
Oh, he's got that as well. They're clinging to that
7.
back cushion there, but you have to hit them perfect to knock that type of shot in. Ronnie will stay in his seat.
Alec Archer 7 and the free.
Signals to the referee. So Ali Carter has stopped the rot, and he waves to the crowd. He raises his hands. That's nice to see. Could this be the start of the mini comeback? It's still 14-8 though to Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well played, Ali Carter. I think he deserves that because he's gone through the mill out there already in the afternoon. John, just describe the feeling of pride that he might take now from that performance, because the prospect of being beaten in a world final with one session to spare must not be nice.
No, not at all. I think the interval came at the right time. I think he's probably had a carrot juice and a pep talk. I think Peter Ebdon's probably been in his ear. He come back with a little bit more resolution about him in that one. Balls went awkward, which wasn't a bad thing really, and he chipped away and managed to win a frame, but he'll have been thinking about it. I'm sure they'd have talked about it in the interval. It'd been something, make sure you don't do it. And of course you just got to play every frame as you can now and try and make the score respectable.
You two have inflicted a similar situation in finals. In fact, this hasn't happened for 19 years. You were the last one against Jimmy White to do it, Stephen. From the player who's in command perspective, when you are held up in that ambition, how does it feel?
Well, there's no doubt Ronnie would be thinking about that. He'd have been trying, having won the first 4 frames. He'd been in the dressing room thinking, I can finish this afternoon, let's get home early. But Ali's done well there. He needed to win one of the first 2 frames, I think, because if he'd lost the first 2 frames of the session, then he really would have been, low, and perhaps might have, completely given up. But, if he wins the next 2 frames, who knows?
Yeah. Is it more a question of damage limitation at this point, Steve?
Well, he can relax, that's for certain. And obviously, if he relaxes and just goes for his shots, we saw perhaps he was banging the balls in a bit harder there. It could kickstart something. But I mean, nobody's ever come back from 14-8 behind in a world final before, have they?
Oh,
Stephen?
yes, Mr. Hendry.
Yep.
Long time ago.
Thanks, Steve.
just hit across that slightly, and he's left a pretty good chance for Ronnie. That type of shot is tough at the best of times, but when you're 14-8 behind, it's even more difficult. But I think he's got an angle to drop this red in, get on the black. Or maybe not. He was looking at taking the one near the pack. Yeah, he can drop this in for the black.
One.
That was nice to see when he won his first frame of this session. Well done, Ali Carter.
Eight.
Just look at the way he's left these balls here for Ronnie O'Sullivan. Without preempting anything, I'm sure it'd be an interesting spectator.
9.
The Winter Gardens, if Ronnie starts putting a few red blacks here. Stephen Hendry already had a 147 on the first day, and knowing Ronnie, first chance he gets, he'll certainly be going for that elusive prize.
Yeah, he was on his way in the afternoon session. He had 5 reds, 5
16.
blacks, but just was slightly out of position and didn't risk it. Took the pink.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 16.
Tried to force the angle there, but look at the position. But that was because of the reverse side. It just threw the white into the red and offline slightly. Now there is one red that will go up into the corner. Ali hasn't looked at it yet. Just to the right of the pink, that one there. Well, Ali, you're queuing well, and you've won the last frame. Have a go. Get yourself back on the black. No, no. And where's the red going to go? It's going to knock the other one over the pocket or put it on. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, but he's left a similar shot, hasn't he, Dennis, up into the yellow pocket, maybe red even into the left centre. And that's why he was a little bit nervy on that pot, Ali Carter. He knew what he was going to be leaving.
One.
Got the perfect angle on the yellow to leave choice of reds. Either side of the pink, those 2 reds. Just watch where he puts the cue ball. If he's too hard on the one to the left, he's got the one to the right.
3.
That's what you call using options.
4.
And the next shot could open quite a few more reds. Doesn't have to go into them with a great deal of pace. He could have played it better than that, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went into the middle of them. I thought he might just glance off the left-hand side, because he's always has this red that's closest to the left-hand corner pocket as insurance. Maybe end the break. There is a red that he may be able to pot into this left-hand corner pocket, but it's a bit of a stretch.
He might have to risk this as a really awkward shot, but he's no easy safety. He doesn't like it, though. He's fully stretched there. I mean, he could get the spider out and have a go at this if he can't see a safety shot. I've just decided on the safety up this end of the
Ronnie
table.
O'Sullivan, 11.
Yeah, I wanted leave that cue ball somewhere near the jaws of the pocket. He's left a tempter for Ali Carter, but by no means easy. These are tough shots. Oh, well played. Well played. Very well cued.
That was such a tough shot, and to get perfectly on the black, every credit to Ali Carter. He deserves to knock a sizable break in here.
Eight. Nine.
This is the last of the reds that
60.
will go in this corner, but look at the three reds together.
17.
They're all available into the right corner. Well, all the reds are in potable position, so it's a very good chance if he can just hold himself together here and get himself another frame.
$24.
I love this shot here as the camera comes in over the crowd. It gives you an idea of how big the table is and how tough the pockets are. When you see it from that angle, sometimes our other cameras can make the pockets look easier than they really are. It's a little bit like looking at a dartboard. A treble looks big on television, but when you look at the dartboard in a pub, you can never get a dart into a treble.
$32.
It was a nice little nudge, wasn't it? Just as he potted that red, he just opened the other two, almost touching. It's okay. Would have liked to have gone by those
40.
reds, but he does have the red into the left centre. This one is on it as well, so still in good position.
41.
Ali's only made 7 breaks over 30 in this final, believe it or not. There's Ali's highest break, 84. So this coming at just the right time.
$49.
Yes, and he's certainly taking his time with this. He knows the value and the importance of trying to win this frame in one visit.
$55.
Just having a little glance at the scores. 28 points ahead.
$56.
He's going to need another couple of reds colours after this pink.
So that safety shot that Ronnie thought he had played
62.
has cost him dearly. But the opening pot
63.
that Ali knocked in, you know, he deserved to win the frame from it.
He hasn't won this frame yet. That wasn't the best shot, but as we see, the opening red, excellent pot. Just come a little bit straight in this black. Gonna have to go around the angles. Needs to go. Needs to go. That's no good.
70.
Well, he's got the other one, and if he's not hampered with the blue, I don't know if he can just stretch over and reach this. Just about.
Well, that's the one that makes sure of the frame. And the Carter supporters up in the balcony.
Yeah, under the
Don't go in there.
circumstances. He's just given everybody a thrill
78.
there. Wouldn't it be nice if he could make a century here? He's made 24 Crucible centuries. He's made 143 in his career. And if he can't make one,
7.
it'll be the 71st century, and it'll be another £200 for the Haven House Children's Hospice. And if somehow they could get
90.
to 75 centuries, it would be made up to £25,000. Great gesture from our sponsors, Betfred, that.
94.
He's already made 5 here at this year's World Championship. Come on, cue ball.
99.
Oh, it's not going to be an easy pink. 99. We don't want to finish on 99, Ali. Well done, Ali Carter. And Peter Ebden and Ali's fans enjoyed that. And a little treble. Oh, he's screwed it off. It doesn't matter. So the mini comeback continues. Ali Carter has won 2 in a row with the aid of that magnificent century break. But it's still 14-9 to Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Steve Davis, he suddenly looks a different player. The pace is picked up. He's playing with great flair and attack. And is this the way forward for him? Has he got to open the game up a bit now?
Yes, and it's easier in some respects when he's in this situation. And probably sort of, you know, friends and family thinking, why couldn't he play like this at the start? Yeah. Well, it's because it's the age-old problem. When you start trying, it becomes a lot more difficult, and getting the balance right is the hardest thing in the world. But all of a sudden, he's paid to, you know, going one session to spare, and I think Ronnie O'Sullivan now is going to sort of just try and coast in. He won't lose the session, and so another session basically for Ronnie O'Sullivan.
From Ronnie's perspective, ironically, Stephen, that mid-session interval seemed to come at just the wrong time for him, because he was on a roll at that point.
Yeah, he was really focused. You could tell when he was pinching frames, his facial expressions, which you don't normally get from Ronnie. He was really on one, and as I said before, in the dressing room, he'd be thinking about winning a session early, but now he just wants to get as big a lead as possible. He's going to have a lead, but how big?
Yeah, and for Carter fans, I guess the shackles are off. He's got nothing to lose at this point, John.
Yeah, but it's still a great effort all the
Indeed,
same. He must
yeah.
have been sitting, he looked browbeaten, didn't he? He was sitting in his chair, looked like it was a desperate situation. As I say, the interval come at the right time. and well done to him. As Steve said, I mean, at this point you're thinking, well, I might not have anything to lose. Let's loosen up, see if we win a few frames.
Okay, well, he lost 18 frames to 8 4 years ago. He's over the 8-frame barrier, and let's see how close he can get to O'Sullivan this afternoon.
Well, he's left this red into the corner, but it's a very difficult one. It looks to be almost straight, but he's snookered on all the others. And if he's going to try and hold for the black, this would be some shot. So he doesn't really want to know about it. He's trying to find another safety shot, but if there isn't one on, he'd be thinking to himself, might as well have a go. But after the red that Ali knocked in the previous frame and made a century, Ronnie's going to have to be a little bit careful. And all of a sudden, he gets an early chance, Ali, because that was a tough shot that Ronnie took on there.
One. Three. Four.
Just got into that a little bit too much. Thought I have a nice angle on this shell. I have to get down for that red just to the left of the pink. Let's have a look at Ronnie's open attempt at the red. Quite a long way away from this one. Very difficult shot, dead straight.
Well, there's a little bit of pressure on this medium range pot here. Let's see if Ali's confidence is fully restored, because this is the type of shot that tests you. He didn't hit it well. Look where the cue ball's finished. Probably hit it a little bit harder than he intended. He had to punch it in, but the ones that can find you out when you're under pressure. But at least he hasn't left anything. Wow, this looks as if it'll cut in, so that's an unusual careless safety shot from Ronnie.
One.
But the only red that's available is the one behind the black, so how does he get up on that? He's got no angle to pot a colour and get into the reds. We know Ali has a terrific amount of cue power. And there's nothing available. He can't get through to the blue. He's going to need the rest. In fact, just looking at it, there's no value in potting the yellow. Might just try and play snooker here or even get in behind the blue. Let's see what sort of angle he's got on this yellow. If he can screw back, he's got the cue power. If he can miss the middle pocket, he could get on that red. Now he's just playing the safety shot, and well, he's taking the 2 points, and he's trying to get in behind the blue.
3.
Green and brown are also well placed. That's not the best safety shot that he's ever played.
I'm not quite sure whether the black pot's into the bottom right hand corner pocket, but certainly in value. Trying to stay on the pink here.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Well, I wonder, does this red pass the black? I think he might have played for the one on the black spot. So that was the reason he missed the pot, because he didn't get the white anywhere near where he intended. I like this. I like this shot if it misses the yellow. Tell you what, Ken, if that had slipped in behind the yellow, it would have been impossible to escape from.
It's a good attempt, wasn't it? Slowly. And this will require good cueing, getting back the ball from here. Thinks there's maybe a gap in between those reds, that he can clip off one and get back into a similar position where he is now, but it's going to be very, very tight. Well, there was a gap, and that's a very, very good shot. Well played. Similar attempt here from Ali Carter. May even, I was just going to say, may even be able to pot it.
Not a bad thing for Ali Carter. Tactical battle. He's keeping Ronnie away from the table. Just get him out of stroke slightly. Of course, how many times have we seen throughout this year's World Championship where Ronnie has played lots of safety, and then when he gets the chance, he just seems to put his foot on the accelerator and away he goes. But this will suit Ali here. Now, how's your luck this time with those two colours? You didn't want to knock the yellow in.
Oh, Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
Bit unfortunate to do that. Might just be able to, yeah, you can just get past the pink to snake this red. Now, what's going to happen this time? Now, it looked like a reckless shot, but it wasn't. He had to move that red, and it hasn't worked out for Ronnie. A little wry smile, but that can happen. He got the cue ball exactly where he wanted, but when you're careering into other reds, you never know. You're using the other ones as a stopper, but this can always happen where one springs out of the pack and heads up towards a pocket.
1.
One good positional shot here, and he's got the pink, and look at the reds around the pink spot area.
Yeah, nice little nudge, wasn't it, on the green? Tried to get on that blue, but the brown is perfect now. Red just above the pink, maybe his choice after potting this.
He's going to take that red that you suggested, Ken. I think he was planning to leave the 4 reds in the corner. He's finished on the 4 reds, but that one next to the pink, if it's a nice little angle, you can just screw in behind the pink.
He's got a choice, hasn't he? I mean, even this red at the bottom of the 4 will release the pink into this bottom right hand corner pocket, so
6.
as you said, they're all perfectly split around the pink spot. Doesn't have to worry really about the black.
I think he has relaxed, Ali. You know, when it got to 14-7, he just relaxed a little bit and thought, I'm just going to give this my best
13.
shot. And he's on his way now to possibly winning 3 in a row. He's got a lot of work to do, though. It's finished just a little awkward. He's having to bridge over this red. He might even finish up. Well, he looked at the red into the middle, but he's having to bridge over this. He's having the cue ball clean, but I think he's given himself a little bit of thinking time here. A couple of inches either way there, and he was perfect. This was just a safety shot, screwing back and trying to remove that red, but 2 or 3 little cannons put that over the pocket.
Looks okay, doesn't it? I think he's got a good angle on this black. I couldn't get on the pink because the pink doesn't go to left centre, but perfect on this black to get out for this red. It's on the black spot. Black will go on the blue spot, or does it spot on its own spot?
27.
Oh, that's not too bad. Can still pot this red and just nudge the black, but still be on it into the corner pocket.
$28.
Well, he's just... That's not the connection he wanted. It's gone horribly wrong.
That always can happen when you're having to play a little cannon here, and he didn't quite get enough screw on it, so he's taking the blue to try and get back up to the reds again. That's not a bad effort. It's still not straightforward, though. I think he can drop this red in the middle and hold for the yellow or brown. Just doesn't want to be, well, it looks as if he might try and stun it in, but just a little drag shot. It's the way to play it.
he's just one more good positional shot away. I think the bottom red of the two below the pink will pot into this bottom left-hand corner pocket, but if not, certainly the red into the right centre. Needs to go. That's okay. And if this red does pot, which I think it does, second red down, pots into this corner pocket. We can get on. There you see it does. So we can get on pink or black here.
$38.
He really is putting everything into this effort here, Ali Carter. And at the moment you could hear a pin drop in the Crucible Theatre. They wanted a comeback, a lot of the people, and
44.
they're certainly getting that at the moment.
$45.
I think everyone backstage, they were all saying, well, it's only a matter of time and this final's over. It's far from over if he takes this frame and possibly the last of the session.
$52. $53.
Yes, Ronnie said that's enough. So the comeback continues. Ali Carter, with the aid of that 53 break, has now won 3 in a row. And he's back in this championship. It's 14-10.
Well, I know that Ali Carter's been drinking gallons of organic carrot juice at the intervals, and clearly it's had a massive effect on him this time as well. What a comeback so far.
I think he's had a tin of spinach as well while he's been at it. He's certainly turned it round. Before the interval he looked all shot to bits, looked mentally like he wasn't at the races, but it's turned round, and I have to say Ronnie looks like he's lost a little bit of concentration.
Indeed, yeah, and suddenly, Stephen, he's getting chances in there, Ali Carter.
And when he comes to the table, he's getting good chances, Ali Carter. He's not having to do a lot. The balls are in nice positions. So yeah, I mean, everyone that thought we were going to have an early night is maybe have to think again.
Yes, mentally, before that interval, Steve, he looked gone, realistically, didn't he?
Yes, and what would have happened, he'd gone back to his dressing room and said, well, what can I do? You know, the messages he was going to get was go out and enjoy yourself. So you could see he was a different person walking out. He was finishing off eating some food, licking his fingers, and not a care in the world in one respect, other than the fact that Ronnie could have put him away there and then, and he would have been back in the seat had he not won that first frame. Just a little bit of inspiration, John.
The thing is now, this is a massive frame coming up. Now he's been playing a little bit carefree, he's been playing like he hasn't been in a match. This frame will definitely put him back in the match. There could be a bit of twitching going on in this frame.
Yes,
Does he
indeed,
go back
suddenly.
into his shell?
Yeah,
You don't know.
yeah, and indeed suddenly the pressure swaps to Ronnie's side of things, doesn't it?
I think this is going to be a twitchy frame. I'd be surprised if someone wins it easy. I think there's going to be a bit of touch and go here in this frame.
I think that's half of the fascination about this World Championship final is how the tension and psychology swings with every frame, Steve.
I think you can start to understand why players with big leads sometimes lose them. You know, the guy looking over his shoulder in the end, all of a sudden Ronnie waiting for the guy to catch up if he's not careful. And so being mentally positive and getting the balance between trying and relaxing is a very big part of this game.
Well, just as it was last evening, this last frame of the session is highly significant potentially.
Can't all them world champions talking about twitchy frames? We've all had a few of those here at the Crucible.
Yeah, we certainly have, and that's what makes this championship and this theatre so special. I think this is a massive frame, particularly for Ali Carter. If he pulls it back to 14-11, well, even though the session would have been shared 4 frames each, Ali Carter would have felt, or would feel, that he would have won the session, particularly after the manner in which he lost those first 4 frames. So huge frame for both players here.
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan 6.
And of course it's interesting then is what the guys were saying. The pressure does revert back. Ali Carter came
Can you
out
turn your earpieces down, please?
after
A bit
those 4
loud.
frames. Probably feeling, well, I've got nothing to lose. Sullivan's on fire. There's not much I can do, but he's come out with a bit more of a carefree attitude, and all of a sudden now he's back in the match.
Yeah, it'll just take a few seconds to get these balls back in the exact position. It just seemed to get a bounce off that side cushion. Maybe he got a little bit of side that took him to the pink.
Can you put it up, Leon?
Yeah, they can put it up on the monitor for Michaela. We'll just have a look at it. That's what they're looking at. And
The red this way.
Yeah, it's just down half a ball, isn't it?
No, a bit more. Yes, I thought, yeah.
it's funny, Ronnie's helping out there. But you're not allowed to touch the ball. It's in the rows. You know, the player can't put his... Are you allowed to touch the ball with a cue, Ken? Wouldn't have thought so.
I don't think he's allowed to touch the ball at all, but he's definitely allowed.
Is that
You
red
know.
right then? Because Ronnie thinks it was...
No, this red went past that red, but not into the pocket.
He thinks the red was open. I think that's what Ronnie is saying.
Past this red into the pocket, but not past that red.
Oh, right,
Ronnie is
he-
saying
he
that the
wants
red
it
was
up.
possibly be able to pass the pyramid of reds.
Well, let's have a look where that's where they were. Let's have a look now. I think the pink and red need to go just a little bit, yeah.
I think they need to go a little bit further up the table, don't they?
No.
I think the red is in line with the pink spot, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, it shows that Ronnie's been concentrating and he knows exactly where they were. Yeah, that's about spot on now. Just a readjustment.
Not actually, the white was. I couldn't play safe off that red.
Right.
Oh yeah, well, he's putting himself at a disadvantage because where the white is, he could play a safety
Leo?
shot that wasn't available to him.
Aye.
No, it's right.
Yeah, we're very, very proud of our sport that the players, you know, own up to their fouls and put themselves at a disadvantage. They never take advantage of a situation. Great to see. Doesn't have to play the same shot again. He's choosing a different escape. Yeah, great sportsmanship there. Didn't used to be like that when you played in the old billiard hall. I used to play with a fella who could miss cue on purpose. Right? That was a bit of a skill. Should be okay. You can see the edge of this red just to come back down the table off it. The red will head over towards that red and black. Another first-class safety shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Can Ali return the compliment? He can play thin off the red. That's just to the right of the pink. Got to be careful. Could easily wobble in the jaws of the pocket or go in. Has to hit it thin.
Foul.
And he didn't hit it
Ronnie
thin.
Sullivan
And the in-off was okay until that red's come over the corner pocket.
Yeah, it was a tough shot, wasn't it? Now, half a chance for Ronnie. Okay, black is tied up, but certainly won't be trying to get on. Bring the black into play here, trying to get up for pink or blue. Plenty of reds in the open as well, so. But he hasn't queued particularly well in the last couple of, particularly his long pots. Where you see 68% long pot success, 58% card there. Oh, that's better. Yeah, nicely on the blue. Excellent shot. Just ran on a little bit more than he would have liked, so may have to take the blue and see the long putt again. May have to take the blue and go into the pack again just to hold the cue ball. Oh, doesn't want the red. Oh, it's close.
Just thinking he may have covered everything, you know. They all seem to be blocking each other. And there you can see the outcome. And it's not easy to plant that one into the pocket because it's quite away from that corner pocket. It's not right over it. Is there a half a pocket there? That's all he needed. What a shot that was. Well, Ronnie Jr. enjoyed that. I mean, our camera showed you there was very little room past that red. What judgment that was.
$12. $30.
This would be typical Ronnie O'Sullivan. Lost the last two frames with a 105 from Ali Carter and then a 53. Be typical Ronnie if he knocks in a big break here. He's done it throughout the championship. As soon as someone asked him a question, Ken, he's come up with the answers, hasn't he?
Yeah, and this is where he's at its
19.
best. Just in around the pink and black, just playing little soft screws and
20.
little stun shots, and just watch the cue ball the way he'll have it almost on a string. He's so good in around the pink and black.
$26. $27.
It's wonderful crucible theatre.
$33. $34.
I mean, you'd love to get that red away from this bottom right hand corner pocket. It's just blocking things up a little bit.
It's just the 5 reds around the black. He's just checking to see if one of them might be available. If not, he's got a few more easy reds. He's using this one here. It's a big pocket. The one you said, get it away and it'll clear
39.
the pocket for later on. Still in the 90s.
40.
91 with his pot success rate. Ali Carter getting closer to that 90%. And there's nothing to pick between them in the tournament pot success rate, just 1%.
Just gone slightly awry. Might play this left-handed.
46.
Just about reach it. Yes.
47.
I was just going to say that was Ali's possibly only chance of maybe getting back to the table here.
Yeah, sure.
Just spotted something on the cue ball. Well, we thought we were in for a bit of a twitchy last frame, but I suppose if there's one player in the game, Ken, that doesn't twitch, it's the man at the table at the moment. He certainly knows how to close frames and matches out. Doesn't even twitch with his left hand.
He makes it look so easy, doesn't he? People are so used to him playing with left hand.
53.
63 ahead, so red colour. And he won't need any of those.
54.
Red colour red, and he won't need any of those 5 reds that are all blocking each other. Stun the pink in, try and get onto this red. Near the left hand side cushion, just get in behind it and have it into the opposite middle or into the corner pocket.
60.
So this red to have a 5-frame lead going into the final session. Excellent stuff from Ronnie O'Sullivan.
I think Ronnie Jr. was just saying to his good friend John there, is that enough? He's probably just a little bit too young to reckon the scores up.
Well, will he attempt to plant?
64.
No.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 64.
Couple of snookers needed. Don't blame Ali for carrying on after winning the last 3 frames. He could get a chance and pot 4 reds and 4 blacks. And there's a glimmer of hope, but not much. Well, Ronnie tapped the table as well there for the length of that safety shot right on the cushion.
Carter 74 points behind, 67 just remaining on the table, so 2 4-point snookers. Oh, that's not a bad start. Okay, easy hit for Ronnie O'Sullivan, but he's a little bit unlucky, Ali Carter, as he grimaces, and that's because he's tied up the black. I'm sure he'll try and bring the black into play here.
You can see the pot to the right, but he's playing a safety shot. He's not risking anything, even though Ali needs 2 snookers. And that's careless. That's very careless. Why didn't Ronnie just take the pot on to the right corner?
Doesn't want to leave a free ball here,
Ali
Dennis.
Carter, 4.
Oh, he's very close.
Well, I can only think he doesn't want to go for the red into the right corner in case he misses and lets Ali, you know, get 4 reds, 4 blacks. But he does need 2 snookers, and he had a shot available to the right corner. But as you say, Ken, if he had left a free ball there, there was an extra red on the table then. Well, at the moment it looks as if Ronnie's getting a bit of practice in for this evening session, you'd have to say. Now the cannon, this time the chances there, just this red, and then there'll be a handshake, you would feel.
One.
But he still needs 3 frames, so it's all to play for this
7.
evening. It was a very good fight back from Ali Carter to win 3 frames in a row, and it's far from over
8.
just yet, Ken.
No, still plenty of snooker left in this final, but Ronnie be mighty relieved. He's back to a 5-frame cushion going into this final session tonight.
Ten. $11.
Yeah, at one stage we thought it may not be a final session, but certainly all to play for now.
And it's amazing he still wants to clear the balls up. I mean, the
18.
frame's long over, but he's been like that throughout the
19.
whole championship. I remember one frame in the semi-final, he was 80 behind and he came to the table with 1 red on, just to get a bit of potting practice.
25.
No, what a shot. Left-handed, double into the corner pocket. Oh, this is good stuff.
Left-handed, right-handed. I bet he could kick them in the pockets with his feet, this
28.
fella.
30. 33. 37.
Yeah, a lot of people that had bought tickets for this evening thought there wasn't going to be a session. They can all queue up, and it could be very interesting here in the Crucible tonight.
42.
Is he going to bother with the black?
48.
Looks like he is, so. Ronnie O'Sullivan clears up with a break of 55 and takes the final frame of this session. He'll go into the final session this evening with a 5-frame lead. And he leads Ali Carter now by 15 frames to 10.